Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our English podcast. Today, we're going to learn some English expressions that you may wish you had learned much earlier.
That's right. These are expressions that native speakers use naturally in everyday conversations, but English learners don't always learn them in traditional classes.
Our first expression is, it turns out.
We use "it turns out" when we discover that something is different from what we originally thought.
For example, I thought the restaurant was closed, but it turns out it's open until midnight.
So, "it turns out" is useful when you discover new information.
Here's another example. I thought learning English would take years, but it turns out I can improve much faster with regular practice.
Our second expression is "I had no idea."
We use this when we're surprised because we didn't know something.
For example, did you know Sarah speaks 3 languages?
You could respond, "Really? I had no idea."
It sounds much more natural than simply saying, "I didn't know."
And you can use it when you're genuinely surprised.
So remember, "it turns out" introduces something you discovered, while "I had no idea" shows surprise about information you didn't know.
In the next session, we'll learn 2 expressions that can help you sound much more natural when giving opinions. Let's continue with 2 expressions that native speakers use when sharing their opinions.
The first one is, "as far as I'm concerned."
This means, in my opinion, or from my point of view.
For example, "as far as I'm concerned, learning English through conversation is extremely effective."
It's a useful expression when you want to clearly introduce your personal opinion.
You can also say, "as far as I'm concerned, this is the best solution."
Our second expression is, the way I see it.
This also means "in my opinion," but it sounds natural and conversational.
For example, the way I see it, everyone should spend some time practicing English every day.
Another example is, "the way I see it, we have 2 choices."
These expressions are especially useful when you're having a discussion.
They allow you to express your opinion without sounding too direct.
And they give you a natural way to begin your sentence.
Instead of always saying, "I think," try "the way I see it."
Or use "as far as I'm concerned."
Both expressions can make your English sound more varied and confident.
In the next session, we'll learn expressions that are perfect when you're not completely sure about something. Today, we're learning 2 expressions that are incredibly useful when you want to sound natural but aren't completely certain.
The first expression is, "as far as I know."
We use it when we're giving information that we believe is correct, but we aren't 100% certain.
For example, "as far as I know, the meeting starts at 10.
You're saying that you believe the meeting starts at 10, but you haven't completely confirmed it.
Another example is, "as far as I know, John is still working there."
The second expression is, as far as I can tell.
This means based on what I can see, understand, or observe.
For example, as far as I can tell, everything is working correctly.
Or, "as far as I can tell, she's enjoying her new job."
These expressions are useful because they help you avoid sounding too certain when you don't have all the information.
And that's important in professional English too.
Instead of saying, "this is definitely correct," you might say, "as far as I know, this is correct."
That sounds careful and professional.
So remember, as far as I know is about your knowledge, while as far as I can tell is about what you can observe or understand.
In the next session, we'll learn 2 expressions that can help you handle unexpected situations.
Let's learn 2 expressions that you'll hear when something unexpected happens.
The first expression is, "things happen."
We use this when something goes wrong, and we want to remind someone not to worry too much.
For example, if your friend accidentally breaks your cup, you could say, "don't worry, things happen."
It means that mistakes and unexpected problems are a normal part of life.
Another useful expression is, "it can't be helped."
We use this when a situation is unfortunate, but there's nothing we can do to change it.
For example, the flight was canceled because of the storm. It can't be helped.
This expression is useful when you need to accept a situation that is outside your control.
But remember, "it can't be helped" doesn't mean you don't care.
It simply means that there's no practical way to change what happened.
For example, we wanted to go hiking, but it's raining heavily. It can't be helped.
These expressions can help you stay calm when things don't go according to plan.
And that's an important part of natural communication.
Instead of getting angry about every small problem, sometimes you simply have to accept the situation and move forward.
In the next session, we'll learn expressions that help you talk about progress and change.
Now let's learn 2 expressions that are very useful when talking about progress and improvement.
The first expression is, I'm getting the hang of it.
This means you're gradually learning how to do something.
For example, at first, using the new software was difficult, but I'm getting the hang of it.
In other words, you're beginning to understand how it works.
You can use this expression for almost any skill.
For example, I'm getting the hang of speaking English without translating every sentence.
That's a great example for English learners.
The second expression is, I'm getting there.
We use this when we're making progress, but haven't reached our goal yet.
Someone might ask, have you finished the project?
You could say, not yet, but I'm getting there.
It means you're making progress and expect to finish soon.
You can also use it when talking about personal improvement.
For example, my English isn't perfect yet, but I'm getting there.
These expressions are encouraging because they focus on progress rather than perfection.
Remember, improvement takes time. You don't have to be perfect to be making progress.
In the next session, we'll learn 2 expressions that are especially useful in everyday conversations.
Let's continue with 2 expressions that can make your everyday conversations much more natural.
The first expression is, for what it's worth.
We use this when we're giving an opinion or piece of information that might be useful, but we don't want to sound too forceful.
For example, for what it's worth, I think you made the right decision.
It can also introduce a small piece of advice.
For example, for what it's worth, I had a similar experience last year.
The second expression is, if you ask me.
This is another natural way to introduce your opinion.
For example, if you ask me, everyone should learn a second language.
Or, if you ask me, this is the easiest way to learn vocabulary.
These expressions are useful because they make your opinion sound conversational.
Instead of saying, in my opinion, every time, you can vary your language.
Try using for what it's worth when you're offering an idea politely.
And use if you ask me when you're giving your personal opinion.
These small expressions can make a big difference in the way you communicate.
In the next session, we'll learn 2 expressions that native speakers use when they want to change or clarify what they're saying.
Today we're learning 2 expressions that can help you clarify your ideas.
The first expression is what I mean is.
We use it when we want to explain something more clearly.
For example, I don't think you should quit. What I mean is, maybe you should take a short break first.
It's useful when you realize that your first sentence wasn't completely clear.
The second expression is what I'm trying to say is.
This has a similar meaning and is very common in conversation.
For example, what I'm trying to say is, you don't need to be perfect to speak English well.
Both expressions are helpful when you're explaining a complicated idea.
They can also help you recover when you make a mistake while speaking.
Instead of stopping completely, you can say, what I mean is, and continue.
That's actually a useful communication skill.
Native speakers don't always speak perfectly either.
They sometimes change their words, clarify their meaning, or explain something again.
So don't be afraid to correct yourself while speaking English.
Communication is more important than speaking every sentence perfectly.
In the next session, we'll learn 2 expressions for agreeing, disagreeing, and finding common ground. Let's learn 2 expressions that are useful when you're discussing different opinions.
The first expression is, I couldn't agree more.
This means I completely agree with you.
For example, if someone says, practice is more important than memorizing grammar rules, you could say, I couldn't agree more.
It's a stronger and more natural way to show complete agreement.
The second expression is, I see where you're coming from.
This means that you understand why someone has a particular opinion, even if you don't completely agree.
For example, I see where you're coming from, but I think we should try another approach.
That's a very useful expression for respectful disagreement. It shows that you're listening instead of immediately rejecting someone's idea.
You can use it at work, in discussions, or even when talking with friends.
Good communication isn't about winning every argument.
It's about understanding different perspectives and explaining your own ideas clearly.
So remember, I couldn't agree more shows complete agreement.
And I see where you're coming from shows understanding, even when you may have a different opinion.
In the next session, we'll learn our final 4 expressions and prepare for the final challenge. We've reached our final 4 expressions, and these are extremely useful in everyday English.
Expression number 17 is, it's not a big deal.
We use this when something isn't very serious or important.
For example, sorry I made a small mistake.
You can say, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
Expression number 18 is, I'm all set.
This means you're ready, or you have everything you need.
For example, someone might ask, do you need anything else?
You can say, no thanks, I'm all set.
Expression number 19 is, that's the thing.
We use this when we're pointing to the main problem, reason, or important part of a situation.
For example, I'd love to travel, but I don't have enough time.
You could respond, that's the thing. Finding time is the hardest part.
And our final expression is, it is what it is.
We use this when we accept a situation that we can't change.
For example, we missed the train, but it is what it is. Let's take the next one.
These expressions are powerful because they help you communicate naturally without using long sentences.
And once you start hearing them in movies, podcasts, and conversations, you'll recognize them everywhere.
In our final session, we'll review all 20 expressions and give you a practical speaking challenge. We've reached the final part of today's English podcast. Let's quickly review the expressions you've learned.
We started with, it turns out, and I had no idea.
Then we learned, as far as I'm concerned, and the way I see it.
We also learned, as far as I know and as far as I can tell.
Then came, things happen, and it can't be helped.
We learned, I'm getting the hang of it, and I'm getting there.
Then we practiced, for what it's worth, and if you ask me.
After that, we learned what I mean is and what I'm trying to say is.
We also learned, I couldn't agree more, and I see where you're coming from.
And finally, we learned it's not a big deal. I'm all set. That's the thing. And it is what it is.
Now, here's your challenge. Choose 5 expressions from today's lesson and create your own sentences.
Then try to use at least 2 of them in a real English conversation today.
Don't worry if they feel strange at first. New expressions become natural through repetition.
Listen for them in movies, podcasts, interviews, and conversations, and notice how native speakers use them.
And remember, you don't need to use difficult words to sound fluent.
Sometimes learning a few simple, natural expressions can make your English sound much more confident.
If you enjoyed today's episode, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with another English learner.
And tell us in the comments, which expression do you wish you had learned earlier?
Thanks for listening to the English Podcast. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and we'll see you in the next episode.